Rise and Shine Rwanda, it's Wednesday the 3rd of June.
Coming up on today's Rise and Shine Rwanda.
As the elections get postponed, what can we expect next in the Burundi crisis?
Challengers maintain grip on T20 cricket.
And a profile of the young up-and-comer behind Kigali's newest dance craze.
Good morning, it's just after 7 o'clock in the morning and you're watching Rise and Shine Rwanda with me, Makeda Mahario.
And me, Regis Isheja. Over the next hour, we'll bring you all the latest news, sports and lifestyle headlines from here in Rwanda and around the world. And the Rise and Shine team are here in the studio. What's going on in the world of the money?
Well, the money gets found out while the government is finally giving up on a biodiesel project. It's really sad because people are enthusiastic about it, but you know, it has to go. It has to go.
Right. I hope everybody's...
I thought green energy was the way.
You know? Well, unfortunately, not this time.
All right.
That was one of those projects that are being audited.
Yeah.
See, you have to watch her report.
I have to. I'm not sure.
All right. And what do you have in the world of sports?
In sports, the latest from the cricket final, we have the first champions of the first tournament this year.
Right.
Same old script as it has been in the cricket world, and the French Open. We look at, Rafael Nadal, Djokovic fixture.
Yeah,
I like the
looking
tie. It's
great.
very Irish, very Scotland.
Well, all that and more still to come, but first, Rise and Shine story of the day. As East African communities' heads of states reconvene in Dar es Salaam over the weekend for a reassessment of the situation in Burundi and suggested the elections be postponed until late July, President Pierre Nkurunziza stayed in the country for campaigning reasons. After a failed coup, daily protests, and more than 100,000 people have fled Burundi, what's the situation like in Bujumbura today? And is there more hope now than there was a couple of weeks back? Take a look. Gunshots, arbitrary arrest, tear gas, and stones. Over the past 90 days, the unrest in Burundi has become the main headline worldwide, with each day passing having its own new headline. President Pierre Nkurunziza survived an attempted coup and reshuffled his cabinet. Enter Ambassador Alain Nyamitwe, the new Minister of Foreign Affairs and blood brother to the president's personal advisor, Willy. A move aimed at making sure loyalty wouldn't be an issue going forward. The East African community's heads of states reconvened in Dar es Salaam for a crisis summit this past weekend, as South African President Jacob Zuma made the trip to the Tanzanian capital.
During this period, the summit calls for urgent disarmament of all armed youth groups allied to political parties in Burundi. The summit encourages the government of Burundi for the creation of conditions requisite for the return of refugees.
The heads of state suggested that the elections be postponed for a month and a half, a suggestion the Nyamitwe brothers took to President Pierre Nkurunziza, who had stayed home to, quote, campaign, end quote. With July 26 as the new election date, many wonder what the situation will be like by then, after about 100,000 people have fled the country and protests are yet to slow down. Regis Isheja, Rise and Shine Rwanda. And joining us in studio studio now is a friend to the show, Albert Rudatsimburgwa, Great Lakes political analyst. Welcome back to the show, Albert.
Thank you for inviting me again.
All right, it's always great to reassess the situation in Burundi with you. Now, we'll try to do this obviously weekly based on what's happening over there.
I wouldn't want to take too long because that would, the suffering of the Burundian will,
Hopefully, it will absolutely.
Yeah.
Now,
But I doubt.
there's, after the heads of states meeting that took place last Sunday in Dar es Salaam, the reconvening of the meeting, it feels now that the elections have been postponed until July 26th. Do I have that right?
No, you don't have it right.
Okay.
You don't have it right, actually. And that is where a couple of people, in fact, made the same mistake. Just remember one thing. The very first time on the 13th, after the meeting, they were saying you should postpone.
Right.
What did the Burundian government do?
They kept it to the same day.
No, they added 10 days.
Oh, right.
They added 10 days, and that was not the spirit of the. So here, what they said, if you read Article number 9 of that communique, it says not less than 45 days, not less. This opens up. It can even take a year,
Right.
but it will never happen before 45 days. This gives also the people from the East Africa community, I mean the different stakeholders, to come now also to Burundi and see what can be done, you know, like the dialogues that the UN had started all of there, and to give it some more meat, but to tell the Burundians, don't even think about elections right now. First, create an environment. You know, that is what in fact really came out. And at first sight, it was like, what are they doing to the Burundians? You know. But if you think about, that is the message.
Yeah. So Albert, when you look at the East African East African heads of state, and then the South African president coming up with that final assessment, you know, giving that as advice to the Burundian, which international community or body can go down and quell the situation in Burundi? Which one has control over Burundi at this particular juncture?
But at this stage, no one has control over Burundi. Actually, it is more. We haven't reached you see, we haven't reached the state of that somebody has to come and impose itself. You know, that is what I guess the different actors want to avoid. To not immediately go like if we are back in Arusha,
right.
You know, that's not. It's like, guys, come back to your minds and give it some time. But at least also to the first pressure to tell the people, forget the elections right now. I mean, because I remember even the very first time this thing of the third term had been even put forward by the heads of states and all that. But you know, at the end of the day, everyone has already told Nkurunziza that he shouldn't, you know? So, and he still did. So somehow they're trying to find a way out, but by telling him that forget the elections right now.
Now, Albert, we haven't seen you since the cabinet reshuffle. We had one Nyamitwe brother, we have two now. And by looking at what happened with Gachi Ubgenye being replaced.
You think they'll have another Nyamitwe to go to the Minister of Defense?
I wouldn't be shocked if that was to happen. But now with Gachi Ubgenye being replaced and with Nyamitwe coming in for the foreign affairs, what do you think this gives Pierre Nkurunziza and his government?
To me, having not been, well, somehow it is consistent with the way they think,
right.
I would say, because after all, what is clear is that they just want to stuck there in that office. Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't matter as long as it's still people in there.
Exactly. But he's creating himself a serious problem, because Arusha created an army that was somehow balanced. Yeah. Now, what if these guys of the ex-FAB, the Force Armée Burundaise, feel like they're now under pressure, and because more than one has now been arrested, officers? There's a whole, you know, every night, every unit is expecting that another unit is going to attack them. I mean, I call them, we speak, and they say, every morning we say, we're still alive. You know, so it's creating this problem. On the other side, I would say having Nyamitwe Alain, who is a former ambassador, everybody knows him as a very articulate guy. So I think at least He has a member in his cabinet that can help him surfing eventually. But the situation is there, and I think there's so much at stake here because it's not just Burundi, and that is why Burundi needs to understand that nobody will let it go, because this is pushing the whole region back. Yeah. You know, the kind of reputation that we are getting now in the East African because of Burundi, because of this situation. Right. And everybody has been so loud about it. EU, the UN, the Belgium and all that. I would really say there's one thing that I personally think, but there's I can't elaborate more than that. I wonder what the French are doing in this region. You know,
very clear.
Exactly, and you know, and you have those two levels in the French political world. Is the fact that you do have the politicians, but you have this military shady.
And that, Albert, was taking me to my next question. We initially thought this is just anti-third term, anti-Nkurunziza, but some forces are saying it's deeper than that. This may be instigated by some forces that want to regain a certain level of control in the East African community that they lost. How deep and how true could this be?
I think let's not go too much into speculations and all that, because I was thinking it differently. The whole anti is understandable, because in Burundi we have reached a level also where the limits of the democratic framework has been reached.
Volatile.
Yeah, exactly. And so for political parties, opposition, for civil society, where to go after this, you know? So they put a lot of weight in there. Now, what we do have is what Chris there was asking. It makes sense somewhere. There's always some people backstage in the shadow somewhere, you know. And are they in there? We don't know. This would be speculation.
Now, a question everybody is asking themselves here in Rwanda, when we heard about who was going to attend, obviously we saw President Jacob Zuma attend, and that was quite, surprising, because he's not part of the East African community, but he came as an observer. We expected President José Eduardo dos Santos to be there. He did not attend. President Paul Kagame, His Excellency President Paul Kagame, did not attend. Was there a reason behind that? Because even the Minister of Foreign Affairs, the Honorable Louise Mushikiwabo, was not in Dar es Salaam as well. Was there a reason behind that?
Yeah, well, I'm not the government spokesperson, but what I can see, I think people dramatize it more than what it is. I believe that you need to see this emergency new extraordinary summit has been called in after the first one didn't work because of the coup.
Right.
Now, whatever these guys had to tell each other, they've already done it. You know,
there's nothing new.
There's nothing new.
Right.
So if I guess the Rwandan
delegation.
Well, the Rwandan government has another timetable to respect. There was also Buhari swear-in the same weekend.
African Development Bank.
African Development Bank and all
Economic
that.
Forum Africa.
And at the end of the day,
and there's Bashir, who's getting sworn in this week as well.
Exactly. And then at the end of the day, these guys also talk to each other. I mean, President Kagame talked to President Museveni, to Kenyatta and all that. So I can easily also understand that he calls one of his colleagues and say, hey, just tell me.
This is our agenda, this is what we're going to push forward.
So are you happy with that?
Just like Albert says, hopefully next week we won't have to reconvene and have an update, but then again, you never know what might happen, right? It's good to know you're one phone call away. We appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Thank you for being on the show, Albert.
Thanks.
All right, you're watching Rise and Shine Rwanda. We'll be right back after the break.
Here is to traveling and saving. Starting 1st of April to the 1st of June, travel with Rwanda and take advantage of our reduced fares and enjoy our world-class services in great comfort and safety.
Fly our dream to the heart of Africa.
Welcome back to Rise and Shine Rwanda. Time for business. Fidelis Karangwa has the details.
Business stories making headlines today. Rwanda's push to double its industrial output in the next 2 to 3 years has gained momentum following a grand plan to drive the country's manufacturing sector. According to the National Industrial Research and Development Agency, the strategy is focused on district industrial projects dealing in various aspects of industrial production, where it will be developed across the country on the design, build, and pass-on model. Under this program, NIRDA looks to start producing organic fertilizers, medicine, and insecticide-treated mosquito nets next year. The government has lost interest in the country's biofuel project that used to produce about 2,000 liters of fuel before it stopped production in 2012. The project, which was initiated by the government in 2007, ceased operations in 2012 following challenges with procurement legalities for some of the main catalysts required to produce biodiesel. Officials say the project is no longer viable, citing the absence of raw materials among other challenges, which they say will make it wasteful to continue the project. And Rwanda has suspended flights to Mwanza in Tanzania barely 6 months since its relaunched flights on the route. Officials confirmed the development and said the route was no longer profitable as earlier anticipated. They added that the airline will now redeploy the equipment on the Kigali-Kamembe route, where it is scheduled to resume operations on June 15th. You're up to date today's business headlines. Sports news coming up next in just a minute with Arnold Quizera.
Welcome back to Rise and Shine Rwanda. Time now for your sports news. Arnold Quizera. Starting with football, Rwanda international Salomon Nirisariche has signed a one-year contract extension with Centrode after helping the club earn promotion to the Belgian Jupiler League. The former SEC Academy and his Songa FC Central defender joined Centrode last year from Royal Antwerp. The former under-17 national team player follows in the footsteps of Amavubi skippers Desire Mbonabucha and Claude Kalisa, who also played for Centrode. The centre-back signed a three-year contract worth 80,000 euros from SEC Academy. He has been a regular for the junior Wasps and he has played for Amavubi senior team 8 times. On to the French Open. The men have been separated from the boys in round 4 of this year's French Open, with top seeds Andy Murray, Rafael Nadal and Nicolas Djokovic all booking their places in the quarterfinals of the Clay Grand Slam tournament. The much-anticipated quarterfinal between 9-time champion Rafael Nadal and world number 1 Novak Djokovic takes place today at 4 p.m. London time, with the Spaniard calling it the toughest quarterfinals of his career. Djokovic seeks to complete a career slam of titles, while Nadal will aim to go on and get that highly held La Decima title. The game of cricket has grown from leap to leap, and this year the VR Naidu T20 tournament was the first to take place. I was at the Kichuchuro Cricket Oval. Take a look. 2015 has so far proved to be a year of one-sided finals on the World Cricket Arena, and Rwanda's first cricket tournament final stuck with a script as Challengers Cricket Club went on to claim a third consecutive VR Naidu T20 championship. Coming into the fixture, the tie had been seen as a battle between two of the old guards, with Kigali Cricket Club taking on Challengers Cricket Club at the Kichuchuro Cricket Oval. Challengers remained the last team standing at this year's VR Naidu T20 tournament, defeating Kigali Cricket Club in what was more so a one-sided affair. Kigali went on to set up a total run score of 114 runs in 20 overs, with Challengers needing 115 to secure the year's first silverware. Boosted by the presence of Ugandan international Daniel Ruyanje, the country's oldest team chased down the needed total in 16.2 overs for the loss of 6 wickets to claim the year's first silverware. Kigali's momentum had earlier been dispelled by the loss of captain Zaki Hassan for 26 runs, and their bowlers failed to come back in similar fashion. With the T20 tournament out of the way, attention will turn to the one-day internationals at the next tournament. Arnold Kwizera, Rise and Shine, Rwanda. Joining me in studio is a cricket commentator from the Rwanda Cricket Association, Clinton Rubagumya. Welcome to Rise and Shine, Clinton.
Thank you, man.
Very soft-spoken man. But usually when you're on the microphone at the pitch and you're commentating these games, you tend to be a little louder and out of the box.
Yeah, I really like cricket, man, and I enjoy playing sometimes and even commentating sometimes. Because, you know, cricket is a very entertaining game, and yeah, what can I say? A few words from what they call a gentleman's sport. Now, Clinton, looking at that game, you were on the mic again at Challengers Cricket Club versus Kigali Cricket Club. A one-sided affair. Why was this so? Well, I don't know, it's something strange this year. Even in international cricket, we've been seeing one-sided finals. The World Cup, you also what happened to New Zealand. The IPL, you've seen what's happening to China. I don't know. I know one thing is that the next tournament, I don't know, it may never happen, because I don't know, we thought that was going to be a very entertaining final, but maybe Challengers is just too good of a team for us to handle. Now Challengers has continued with its streak of, you know, always bringing in the Ugandan professionals. The years before they had the likes of Arthur Chobe. This year they bring in Daniel Ruyanje. Is this the difference between them and other teams? Well, some other teams do try, but maybe they do bring, I think Challengers players are much better, because maybe their captain is a very serious guy, and he really does want to win. And I think next time other teams also have learned, and I think we've had enough, we might see another champion. Yeah. Oh, okay. Now, when you looked at the Kigali Cricket Club lineup, they had the best batsman in, who is usually comes out to dominate these format games, Inzaki Hussein. How important was picking up that wicket on Zaki Hassan? Oh, that was the big wicket. I thought if they had not taken him, he might have even gone on to hit the winning runs, or the runs required for them to defend, and getting that wicket was something they all knew, they even knew, the challengers players knew that that was the wicket to get, and well, they did it. We all saw it happening.
Now, when you talked about the challengers captain, how serious he is, I think the man you're talking about is Srinath.
Yeah.
Srinath is 44 years old.
Wow.
How is Srinath being able to dominate the sport of cricket even at that age? He picked up 4 wickets in that game. What does this say about the standard of the game among the Rwandan players?
Yeah, it's good you asked. It's one thing people don't know. Many people in Rwanda don't know. Cricket is a very, very, it doesn't have an age limit. You can play cricket when you're 40 years old. It's just a mind game. And Srinath is one of the wise guys we have. He's a very, very, very important man in the country. I'm sure you know. And by the way he takes the game and the way he takes himself outside of the game, I think it transfers in the game. And if you are there and you are a very well-minded guy and you love sport, I think it's better you try cricket.
Now, earlier in the day, we had the women's final, which was won by Charity Cricket Club. And now Charity has gone on to acquire about 3-4 of the leading players in the country, the likes of Ketia, Diane, and their captain. Why has the standard of women's cricket gone a step back compared, before the finals used to be tighter and closer with the likes of Mary Maina around? When you looked at the final this time, it was again so one-sided. Why has the standard gone back in women's cricket?
Well, women's cricket, but when they started, they were promising, and White Clouds, the other team in the final, they also had, they used to dominate. By this time, I think Charity really worked hard, and they really invested in their players, too much training, and we also it worked. And I think this time, the next tournament, they will be trying to balance the teams, and we hope for a very entertaining tournament.
So we have the one-day internationals coming up next. That's 50 overs. Thank you for coming to the show, Clinton. Hope we'll see you here again.
I'm delighted.
Thank you. Regis and Makeda will be right back after this short break.
Welcome back to Rise and Shine Rwanda. Let's take a look now on news making headlines here in Rwanda and around the world.
More than 1,000 police officers graduated to the rank of constable at the Gishari Police Training School. The officers, who are the largest number of recruits into the Rwandan National Police Force, completed a 7-month training course. The Minister for Internal Security presided over the event and called on the new constables to uphold discipline and work hard in maximizing law and order in the country. 181 female officers were among the graduating class.
The Minister of Local Government, the Honorable Francis Kaboneka, has called on university students to embrace the Ndumunyarwanda program to enhance the country's development. Minister Kaboneka was addressing students at the University of Rwanda's College of Arts and Social Sciences. He said that in the past, a lack of the Ndumunyarwanda program, which is a strong pillar in Rwanda's success, led to hatred which climaxed into the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi. Kaboneka urged the students to promote the program as it is a tool for the country's prosperity and development.
US-based humanitarian organization Team Heart has announced plans to open a cardiovascular treatment facility here in Rwanda. This comes after a memorandum of understanding was signed between the NGO and the Ministry of Health last year. The cardiac team has been providing support for mostly youth with heart diseases since 2008. Officials said the center will offer training to cardiologists, nurses, paramedics, physiotherapists, and surgeons, among others. The facility is expected to start treatment between 2018 and 2019 and will be located in Chukiro District Hospital in Masaka.
In regional news, Burundi's main opposition presidential candidate Agathon Rwasa has called on the East African community to deploy a standby force in the country during the campaign period. This follows the emergency East African heads of states meeting in Dar es Salaam, who urged the Burundi government to delay the elections by at least a month and a half, and called for a stop of all violence. Mr. Rwasa urged the bloc to send a standby force to guarantee the opposition security during the campaigns. The Burundian government said he welcomed the request for a delay in elections as it was still within the electoral calendar.
And in international news, the United Nations has condemned the expulsion of the UN humanitarian coordinator in South Sudan, Toby Lanzer. According to the agency, Lanzer was given no explanation as to why he had been asked to leave the country. United Nations Secretary General Ban Ki-moon called on the government to reverse the decision immediately. Mr. Lanzer is said to have been coming to the end of his term, and the UN had already announced he was to be replaced by Eugene Uwosu of Ghana. South Sudan's UN mission has not provided an explanation for the coordinator's dismissal. Okay, stay tuned. Lifestyle is up next. Plus, we take a look at what's hot right now in our daily debate section. Hot Topics. We'll be right back.
Here is to traveling and saving. Starting 1st of April to the 1st of June, travel with Rwanda and take advantage of our reduced fares and enjoy our world-class services in great comfort and safety.
Fly our dream to the heart of Africa.
at Rise and Shine Rwanda Lifestyle now. Makeda, what do you have for us?
I have a really cool up-and-coming star. You're going to want to see this.
Nice. Okay.
Rwandan pop music is truly starting to take on a life of its own, with more and more crossover-worthy hits like Danny Vumbi's Ni Danger and Dan Teta's Fata Fata capturing the hearts and hips of young and old music lovers alike. Kigali's latest dance craze, Majunda by Baravan, is the latest to catch our attention, so of course we had to profile him for you. Take a look.
My name is Ivan Boravan, that's my stage name, and I'm a singer. Here I'm in the studio recording another song after Majunda, which is the recent song right now. Here with my producer, it's fine, it's good, it's... Mwah. My dreams was to become a football player, and then there was a competition of Rwanda Tale singing, and then I went in. Then I got the second position, and I had 1.5 million. I said, whoa, then singing can become something. Since then I started to put my strength in singing, and I studied how to sing. I went in a school called Kigali Music School. I did 2 years, and then after 6 years of studying, here in 2015, I'm here singing. This is my first song, Majunda. Majunda, it is a dance. It is a dance. Actually, those who will watch the video clip, they will see the dance. You do 2 steps left, 2 steps right, and then you shake the buttocks. Yeah, that's how I danced when I was at home, and then I said, whoa, this can be a good thing. Majunda is the name which is usually used by Congolese and Kenyans, and I wanted to come with that thing here in Rwanda. That's why we're here. Anyone is allowed. In my dreams, in my vision, I have to do some cultural music, like traditional dance, traditional music, traditional singing, traditional instruments, yeah, to brand Rwanda outside. My dream is to bring Rwanda abroad as a brand musician. Yeah, that's my dream.
And joining us now is Boravan. I said it the wrong way before. Yeah. Boravan, to talk about his latest single and, of course, your career. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Makeda.
So sorry for messing up your name, Boravan. Boravan. I actually like
Boravan, and the end, at the end.
Yeah, I really like it. Okay, so, tell me. You've come up with this song. It's become quite popular, and I see the video looks very fun. Why do you think so many people love this new song that you've come out with?
I think it's a creativity. Here in Rwanda, not many people that bring up a dance.
Yeah.
And I wanted to bring that, yeah? On my first song, I wanted to bring like a dance, Majunda. Well, à gauche, chant, à droite, chant. Yeah.
Okay, I mean, I'm gonna have to learn this dance really properly before you go.
I will teach you right after this show.
I need to know how to do it.
Yeah.
So tell me, what made you think, I'm gonna call it Majunda? I know you said it's a word from Congo. How did you decide to call it that?
When I was writing this song, the word was like coming. And I said, let it be like that. The song will be Majunda, and the dance is Majunda, and the first song is Majunda. I came up with that like that.
All right. So tell me, you were saying that you really want to do in the future some traditional stuff and things like that, but now you're starting with like pop, Afro type of music. Yeah. What is your plan?
My plan is first to take a place in the music here in Rwanda, and to do so I have to do things that are popular, the pop music, right? And then after taking that kind of people who like that pop music, and then I will introduce that other style of music, and I think it will be better than to bring it right now.
Okay, so you kind of want to go in phases, I guess.
Yeah, in phases.
So do you know all of the traditional stuff already? You know the type of music? And
I even know how to dance the traditional dance.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
So you're more than Majunda, you know all the type of dances.
Yeah.
So you were mentioning that you went to a music school. Tell me, how was that experience?
The experience, I went there thinking that I'm a singer, I can sing, nothing more that I will be studying. And then I realized that it's not what about I think. Music is a course like other courses. Yeah, there was that teacher, his name is Aimable. Recently he teaches in Nyundo School. Yeah, he taught me, he taught me, I liked the way he did it. And now...
He taught you all the technical aspects and stuff?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, yeah, you're hitting those notes.
Yeah.
So you were telling me that the way that you actually found your producer, Bob, is that you were, I think, making a song for your sister's wedding or something? Tell me about that story.
Yeah, in fact, after that competition that I told you about, I started to sing at school. I was in boarding school in high school. And then after, I went in a choir. After a choir, I went in a ministry that sings, yeah. And then I was the director of vocals. That's where I grew up in my singing capacity.
Okay, so you developed kind of...
Yeah, and then after my sister had a wedding, and then I said, why not doing a song for her? And then I went to record it. After I went to record another song of my brother's wedding. To my brothers, I went to Bob. After seeing Bob, I was like, whoa, this guy is really cool. I wanted someone who do things like Bob. And then after, I said, I need to work with that guy.
Yeah, and you started to work together.
And here I am working with him.
We're definitely looking out for your next single. Now, before you go, I want to hear, if you will, just a little a cappella. Maybe you can sing something for us really quickly, because I heard you in the studio and you sound great.
Yeah.
So can you just sing something small for us?
Like Majunda, right?
Sure.
Yeah. Twaje kwibtinira, that's why we're here. Anyone is allowed. Na numuhejwe, nubyini kunde, muwa mubyimba. Majunda, 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 chup. Yeah.
So you said left, wait, left, right, and then you have to
left,
shake.
cha, cha.
Okay, and then shake.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? I think I'm going to have to practice after this.
It needs a practice.
So much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for coming to join us today.
Thank you.
Buravan. I will never say it the wrong way again. All right, don't go anywhere. Hot Topics is up next. Welcome back, and it's that Hot Topics time again. As always, the Rise and Shine Rwanda team have been out and about gathering everything you need to know about what's happening here and abroad, from what's trending on Twitter to the debates in your local cafe. We've got it for you right here and right now. Now, the first one seems really exciting. It's one about Akon launching... Actually, you know what? Let me just let you have your paper.
I was waiting to see where you were going with
this.
So, Akon, as we all know, hails from Senegal, even if he was born in St. Louis, Louisiana. So Akon, in this case, is actually, he went to the United Nations. There was a United Nations Sustainable Energy for All Forum in New York City. That took place actually last week. And so they plan on opening a solar academy in Mali, which is a neighboring country to his country of origin, Senegal. Keep up with me here. So they plan to launch this summer. And last year, he launched the Akon Lighting African Initiative, which plans on bringing solar electricity power to 600 million Africans, which that currently live off the grid, like they do not have access to electricity. And, he will teach students how to install and maintain solar-powered electricity systems and microgrids. I thought this was a great initiative. Usually these are like PR moves and PR stunts, as Arnold likes to call them. But in this case, I know he's from Africa. I know it's something that really matters to him, because even in 2004, as his career was taking off, when he released Locked Up, he was already like giving back, coming back to Africa, partnering up with the United Nations. So that was pre-Ban Ki-moon, so that was during Kofi Annan's tenure. So I think he's been doing it for a long time. I don't know what you guys think. Do you guys think this is a PR move, or he's doing it from his heart?
I think he's always, like you said, he's always given back, and not just with that. I mean, he's even musically, he's been trying to help very many African artists to like get international recognition. Right. So he's doing a lot for Africa already. I feel like it's just something that's close to his heart, and he feels like he can afford it, he can do it. So why not?
I mean, it can be both, by the way. It can be a PR move and something from the heart. Right? There's nothing wrong with that.
You become a philanthropist when you have money.
So are you planning on becoming one at some point?
Very soon. Huh?
Just give me those millions.
You'll see.
Well, I mean, no, it's always a good thing when we hear something about someone giving back, not forgetting where they're from, because there are some Africans out there who trying to act like they're not African. I'm not going to name any names. No, I'm kidding. No, we're really happy to hear that about Akon. So there's another hot topic, actually. This one is a hot topic on the internet, at least, all over Twitter, all over Facebook. It broke the internet yesterday, I guess you could say, or the day before yesterday.
That family breaks the internet. Really.
That family breaks the internet. So apparently, Bruce Jenner, who used to be, or what they used to call the greatest athlete alive, and the father or the stepfather of the Kardashians, Kim Kardashian, and the sisters, and from the show Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Basically, he has transitioned into a woman now. So now he's a woman, and he's just debuted his new look, okay? So his name before was Bruce Jenner. He was a big athlete in the States. I mean, he was a star at the Olympics, a triathlete, and now his name is Caitlyn Jenner. Now, this is a hot topic all over. She's been trending all over the internet, but she actually broke a record. So we actually talked about it here. I think it was a couple of weeks ago.
She looks nice.
Yeah, hey. So she actually broke the record that Barack Obama broke just before that. Just a few weeks ago, we talked about it. Yeah. We talked about how he had a new handle for the actual presidency in the States. And when he opened it, or when, the White House opened it, it got to over 1 million followers in less than 5 hours. Well, Caitlyn Jenner got to over 1 million followers in less than 4 hours. So now she holds the record for the person who basically got the most followers in the least amount of time. Now, not only is it that, but she's been trending. She's on the cover of Vanity Fair. She had a big Diane Sawyer interview. So she is the thing that everyone is talking about. What do you guys think about this? I mean, it's crazy.
Me personally, I think one, if a person wants to be happy, let them be.
Absolutely.
As in, it's
it's
not our place to
judge.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But that gives me a question. I just throw Regis a question.
Look at her. No. The thing is, the conversation could go on and on and on and on, because there's so many different questions to ask. There's so many different things to say. You support it or you don't support it. You like it or you don't like it. It really doesn't matter. She still broke the internet.
And she's
still trending, and she's happy.
And she's rich.
And she looks nice.
Hey, Photoshop, by the way.
Very cool.
We don't know how she really looks.
But either way, on point.
I mean, you know what?
Does she look nice? That's crazy.
So she's over 60 years old, and he just now decided that he wants to live, a different life. And you know what? He pursued that. He broke the internet. So, more power.
Go Caitlyn.
But go Caitlyn. But we want to know what you guys think about this topic. So make sure you let us know. Don't forget, you can find us all over social media. You can tweet us at Rise and Shine RW. Like us on Facebook. Send us ideas for programs, comment on our photos. Check out our Rise and Shine Rwanda YouTube page, where you can catch all the shows and reports that we upload daily. Follow us on Instagram, Rise and Shine RW. We're always posting behind-the-scenes photos. Or check out our Rise and Shine Rwanda website.
Well, that's all the time we have for today, but like she just said, we'd love to have your feedback on social media. You've been watching Rise and Shine Rwanda with me, Regis Isheja.
And me, Makeda Mahadio. That's all the time we have for today, but of course we'll be back here same time, same place tomorrow, so please do join us then. But for now, from the two of us and the rest of the Rise and Shine team, the beautiful Rise and Shine team, have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.